Welcome back, Endgame community. Thanks as always for joining us. I'm Pierre. He's Chris. Now, we're going to talk about some of the sleepers we like at the wide receiver position. All right, Chris, hit us up with your first one.
Well, we know the Broncos are going to be better this year, right? They have Russell Wilson. We love Courtland Sutton, but don't sleep on Tim Patrick. This is a guy who's kind of been good, even though every year we don't think he's going to be any good, right? He's never been elite, but he's been good. And he's going to be good in this offense, and he's going to have a role. We know Sutton is a big outside, alpha receiver. Jeudy, more of like the inside slot guy. Yeah, he'll go to the outside at times too, but he's probably going to play a lot from the slot. Patrick is probably going to be the receiver on the other side of Courtland Sutton. And like I said, he's had some nice years. In fact, last year, he had a lot more games where he was better than both Sutton and Jerry Jeudy in spite of the offense being so bad. They just signed him to a huge extension. They're going to use him. He's going to get lots of snaps, and he's now going to catch passes from Russell Wilson. That's a big upgrade over anybody who the Broncos have had the last couple of years. I think we both expect, and we all expect Jeudy and Sutton to be great this year, but Patrick, I think, is going to be good. And he's being drafted like somebody who's not going to be good. He's being drafted outside of the top 50 wide receivers, which is absolutely crazy to me. This guy is going to be a great flex option, and people are just ignoring him. So if you want a piece of this Broncos offense, which you should, and you don't want to pay a premium for Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, just wait, get Tim Patrick late. He won't disappoint you.
Yeah, I'm going to have several shares of Tim Patrick, especially, we love doing best ball drafts on Underdog. I'm going to have several. I already do have a couple of Patrick because he's got that big playability. Why not pick a guy who's probably going to be the number 3 option on the most pass-heavy offense in the NFL? That would be Tampa Bay. It's kind of absurd. I had to check to make sure I wasn't seeing things. Do you know that Tom Brady last year attempted 719 passes? That's insane. We also are left with the fact that Chris Godwin, he's not going to be 100% by week 1. All right, even if he's playing and out there, he's not going to be at full speed. Russell Gage is going to pick up some of that slack, plus the Gronk vacated targets. And it doesn't even matter. You're the 3rd or 4th receiver in that offense. You're going to get targets, all right? So Russell Gage had a pretty decent showing the last couple years in Atlanta. I think Gage really will show what he's capable of in this Tampa Bay offense. Guy who's getting slept on because he's been with a team like Atlanta the last couple years. You want the guy who Brady's going to find in the slot. And right now, that guy is Gage. So I think he's somebody who absolutely should be ranked higher, somebody that you definitely want a part of in your drafts. All right, let's keep going. Chris, give me another sleeper at wide receiver.
Well, we know in Minnesota it's the Justin Jefferson show, and then we know Adam Thielen catches a ton of touchdowns. But what about KJ Osborne? I mean, this guy looked good last year down the stretch when Adam Thielen was out, and now it's like people are like, well, Adam Thielen's back, so I can't draft KJ Osborne anymore. But let's look at Adam Thielen. He's 34 years old, 33, 34 years old. He's battled injuries each of the last 2 seasons, hasn't played a full season in either of the last 2 seasons. And really, outside of the touchdowns, he's not catching a ton of passes or getting a ton of yards. First of all, we could see Thielen miss games again this year, which is going to be good for KJ Osborne. But we could also see KJ Osborne just take on a bigger role in this offense because he's younger and at this point in their careers might even be better than Adam Thielen. Yeah, Adam Thielen might still vulture some red zone touchdowns because that's kind of what he does. But KJ Osborne could have more catches and more yards than Adam Thielen this year. He could slot in as kind of the wide receiver 2 in this Vikings offense, which is going to probably be a more vertical offense with Kevin O'Connell there as the head coach. He had a nice end of the season last year. It doesn't really make sense to me, but he's basically free in your fantasy drafts. So when you're getting to those last few picks, you see him on the board, go ahead and grab him. I think he's going to have a great value even with Thielen. And again, Thielen's getting up there in age, already breaking down. We've already seen it. Could happen again, probably will happen again, sadly. And KJ Osborne will step into that number 2 role. So to me, he's a great value and a great sleeper in your fantasy drafts.
Yeah, look, as someone who's a lifelong Miami Hurricanes fan, I tell you, it's nice to see Osborne get that opportunity. Never thought he would be like an alpha receiver in the NFL. Just glad he's got a shot in the NFL. One thing I know he's good at is getting open. He has an knack for finding those soft spots in the zone. So it's nice to see him being productive. All right, and then I'm going to go with a rookie, and not one that you probably heard a lot about. Of course, the rookies always get hyped up after the draft. but really nobody's talking too much about Alec Pierce in Indy. If you look back, we did have, after the draft, him in our top 10 rookie wide receiver rankings. If you check the tape before the draft, I already had him in my top 10 rookie wide receiver rankings. And I'll tell you why. He is a talented guy in Cincinnati, made some big plays. No, wasn't necessarily a huge, dominator in terms of target share, but that was a talented offense, had a good running back, had a quarterback who could take off and run as well at times. This is somebody who isn't necessarily going to be, a target magnet per se, but he's somebody who can make that big play downfield. He's got great speed, size combo. With Matt Ryan there at quarterback, that's definitely an upgrade over Carson Wentz. Look at Indy's wide receiver depth chart. So you got Michael Pittman. Now you got Alec Pierce. You maybe got Paris Campbell, assuming he can actually stay on the field. I don't even know who else, and I'm actually not kidding. I had to look it up to see who else is on Indy's wide receiver depth chart after those three guys. I didn't know. I guess they still have Kiki Kuti. There's definitely an opportunity for Pierce to get a lot of targets. We know Matt Ryan can still sling the deep ball. In a redraft league, even in a best ball league, wherever it is, he's not getting drafted high at all. He's worth a flyer just for those spike weeks. He's a guy who I really like the potential here. So Alec Pierce is someone I'm keeping my eye on for sure. All right, guys, keep your eyes on us all off season long, here to help you win in fantasy football and baseball. Check out our content all off season long. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. All right, thanks for checking us out.